U.S. Coast Guard Seaman Cody Pajunen, a published researcher on the psychological basis of political violence, gives us his views on the growing trend of lone wolf terrorism. Newsy spoke with him while he was at sea.
Specific to ISIS, what we've seen a lot more is people taking up arms on behalf of the group without really necessarily being part of the group itself. Most terrorists are completely autonomous actors, basically meaning that they operate on their own accord. They get their own weapons. They have their own communication systems. Technically, they are a part of ISIS because ISIS claims credibility for their attacks, and ISIS is a very effective broker of violence. By spreading their name and their label, more people are drawn to either supporting them or fearing them. If you fear them, people see them as a legitimate entity, which is what they want. If they support them, they give them money, they give them personnel, they give them funding, they give them credibility or encouragement. So there's a lot of different resources that ISIS can accumulate from these lone wolf terrorist attacks. The thing with ISIS is people think that the violence is all derived from religion. It's not necessarily that. It's socioeconomic and it's relative deprivation. People are relatively disenfranchised. They don't have a lot going in their lives. And ISIS is able to effectively pick up on that. It's harder to just single out people, to aggregate large amounts of data. That's what the government currently does on, people who have been recruited to ISIS, for instance, where they come from, what their socioeconomic background is, what their educational background is. Smaller scale lone wolf attacks under the banner of larger groups will become more and more common just because they're so hard to detect. ISIS wants to propel this idea of a religious war. It is not that. You do not have to fear anyone in the Islamic faith. The worst thing you can possibly do is fear a religion and then try and exclude that from your society.
For Newsy, I'm Ryan Beek.